What's good? We back. It's the Boxing Clinic. More. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. Y'all know what it is, man. We talking about that real trill boxing talk, man. You know, we on the video grind today, man, as usual. Talking boxing, a lot of boxing. We're going to have some other content coming in. Going to get into the preview of the, NBA Finals coming up tomorrow, Thursday. Talking about a potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Jermall Charlo. There seems to be a lot of people talking about it because Oscar De La Hoya, mentioned Jermall Charlo as a potential opponent for Canelo. When he had the Charlo twins, I think he had both of them. The other Charlo twin wore his release away from Golden Boy because they kept false promising a Canelo fight and it never came through for him. So, I don't know why he would be inclined to make that fight right now. And back then, those other Charlo twins was very, very, green. Very, very green. So, we have to see, man, if he really wants to make this fight. But stylistically wise, this is it's a difficult fight for Canelo, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that because I like the Charlo. I like Canelo. I picked him to beat Golovkin. I thought he had some skill before the whole, computer raw thing. I thought he was a trill dude, but I don't even want to take it there. But that jab of Jermall Charlo is going to be an issue, man. His height, he about 6'1", 6'2" almost, just like Danny Jacobs. He can punch him pretty hard, got some speed, but Canelo got some good head movement. But the problem with Canelo is guys that tend to move a lot. And a lot of people want to know how he would do versus a bigger opponent. He hasn't really fought a big, tall, lanky, lengthier opponent like Billy Joe Saunders or Danny Jacobs and Jermall Charlo would. And a lot of people wondering how Canelo will deal with that size differential in a potential fight like that. And I think, Jermall would be a problem, man. But the thing about that is Canelo has big fight experience. So he has that edge right there. He's a good defensive fighter. He just has a problem cutting off the ring. But this Charlo brother don't move that much. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a plotter. But he can move, though. So if he chose to box and made Canelo come to him with that jab, it could be a tough fight. And if he can, touch Canelo's chin, it definitely will be tested in this fight. I think that Golovkin is still the bigger puncher in the division, but it's different type of punchers. You know what I'm saying? This guy's an explosive, athletic puncher, counter puncher type of guy. He's not slow and thudding like Golovkin. It's more piercing and explosive, and velocity on them punches. So it'll be interesting. I think Canelo will have to, hone in on his body, slip, counter, and really be the defensive fighter that he was versus Golovkin. But the problem with that is he's dealing with somebody that got better hand speed and a guy that's able to kind of hit him at long range and put combinations together and stay out of the way of him being countered. So Canelo's gonna have to find a way to really cut the distance. And if he get tired with one of these guys like Jacob Saunders or Charlo, man, it could spell trouble. I don't think they'll let him off the hook like Golovkin did because Golovkin is closer to height than him. Golovkin like 5'10". Canelo probably generous 5'8", 5'9", 5'7", and this dude is like 6'1", man. Jacob's like 6'1", Billy Joe Saunders like 6'1", so that's a few inch discrepancy right there. I just think, that's a bad matchup stylistically wise, and I know Oscar De La Hoya won't throw his ace boom coon Canelo into the wolves like that off a year layoff, but if they were to fight anytime soon, man, I definitely would favor Charlo, man, in this one. I know he ain't been there before or been on this high level, but it's just, I think, just stylistically wise, man, what he brings to the table. But you never know. Canelo has that type of talent that he can definitely shock people. But like I said, man, he dealt with so many issues with Lara moving and boxing and moving. He dealt with it with Mayweather. I mean, this guy, he ain't the mover. Like, he can move, but he ain't the mover of that. But he more offensive, tall, and longer. And Canelo will have to be a pressure fighter. If he tried to outbox this guy, it's going to be a tough night, in my opinion, unless he closes the distance a lot better. And especially this dude bringing, speed and thunder, too, and great counter-punching ability and great offense. It'll be a tough fight, man. But, like I said, it won't surprise me anything that Saul Canelo Alvarez does. He's a special once-in-a-generation type fighter, man. He's different, but one thing he isn't a pressure fighter, man. He's not going to come forward and put the earmuffs on and cut the distance off and make Charlo fight. He's going to try to box with this guy. And I think, it'll be a bad stylistic matchup for Canelo. I think Danny Jacobs will be a little bit better for him since he'd be a little bit older and he took some punishment. He ain't been looking good as well, but stylistically wise, I think that's a bad matchup with him. Jacobs will give you some opportunities to mix it up. And so with Charlo, But Jacobs, we know, has been put down before, you know. But Billy Joe Saunders is another tough guy that can box and move. He more of a boxing mover and probably box circles around Canelo and won't get tired under Dominic Ingle. So he got a lot of tough matchups, and I'm pretty sure that he probably going to fight, you know, Gary Spike O'Sullivan in September. And maybe he might take one of these tough matchups in December. But, you know, right now, you know, I mean, like I said, I can see if people say Canelo, but I just see Charlo just being too much and having too much height and speed and power advantage. He don't have the experience, and Canelo's a great defensive fighter, but to close that distance, I don't see Canelo really having those attributes right now. But I could be wrong, and I really could be wrong, but it's TBC and more. I appreciate everybody for joining us and liking and subscribing. And don't forget, we on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit the drop-down box and look at the description. All that stuff is there. And if you want to donate, it's there as well, too. We out.